Okay, so on the last video, we stopped on number 11, and I told you we were just going to continue on. So I am going to, again, continue with the odds. And so I'm going to do number 13. Okay, now what you're going to notice on number 13, again, is all of our bases are not the same. Okay, so bases not the same. Okay, so we've got to make them the same. Again, you're not going to have more than one base. So we're working with 4s here. What that means is that 64 should be 4 to some power. So just check your table if you have it, or let's just do it. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So that was 3 of them. Okay. The other is from just what we did before. We want this side to be combined. So I am multiplying, which means I'm going to add my powers. Okay. And so that is 4 to the negative x equals 4 to the 3. And once the bases are the same, the exponents are equal to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and solve. So x equals a negative 3. Again, I can check myself because 4 times a negative 2 times a negative 3 times 4 to the negative 3, and that should be equal to that for the third. And so when I multiply here, I get 4 to the 6 times 4 to the negative 3. I'm going to add my powers, which is 4 to the third, which is what it's supposed to be, and it checks. Okay, number 15. Okay, so now this one, you're going to see a couple of things. One, we've got some 32s there, but when my base again is a 2. So I need to write 32, 1 over 32, as 2 to the some power. Okay, so first off, we know it's going to be negative. Okay, that way it flips it to make it 32. And then we just need to know 2 to the what power is 32. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. And so it took 5 of them. Again, or if you have your table, you can look at that. So 1 over 32 would be 2 to the negative 5 power. Now 32 would just be 2 to the 5th. Okay? So again, this piece of it, I need to combine. The rule is to add your powers. And again, now our bases are the same, therefore our powers are the same. Okay, go ahead and solve. And you can go back in and check. You know, and I guess I should pay attention because I did not, I was just going to say I was messing with my eye. And 5, how about 5 plus 5 being 10? Let's see if that works better. So that would be 2 to the 10th times 2 to the negative 5. There we go. Does that equal 2 to the 5th? Now that makes more sense. Whew. Good thing I paid attention and I checked. That does work. Okay, guys, always check my work. Okay, let's try another one. I guess that's what I should do. I should do some of those wrong and see if you guys catch my errors. Maybe I should make errors on purpose. You know, if I made errors on purpose, you wouldn't know when I actually make them by mistake. Okay. Ooh. My goodness. So here's my question. And I told you, I may have told you earlier, that they weren't going to give you any that you had to mess up with the bases, but you might. Okay, so the question is can I write 16 to a power and get, 16 to a power and get 64? Okay? Well, it's a lot according to which class you're in. In honors, you might can figure this out. Regulars, you might not. So if I take 4 or 64, I can't take 16 times 16. That's already way too many. So there's no way I can take 16 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and get 64. That's not going to happen. Okay? So if I think of another way to write 64, one, it's 8 squared, but there's no way to write 16 to get 8. So maybe I want to do 4. And let's see, what was that? 4 to the third, is that right? Is 64? 4 times 4 is, yeah. Okay. So 4 to the third is 64. So maybe instead of trying to do a base of 16, I need to do a base of 4. Now that could be one way. The other way would be if you did power over root. What about that? Could I take 64 to a power over root? I don't know. But here would be my suggestion. I would change everything to 4s. Okay? That's my suggestion. I think it's going to be the easiest and less work on you guys. So, what do I mean by that? Well, 64 is 4 cubed. Okay? 16 is 4 squared, but that is still to the negative 3x power. 16 again is 4 squared, but this is to the 3x minus 2 power. See what I did? So this is 4 cubed. 4 squared is 16, and that's to the negative 3x, and then 16 to the 3x minus 2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do my power to power on those two. So that just means I'm going to just multiply those. That's a negative 6x. This one now is going to require some distributing because I'm going to take 2 times that. So that's going to be 6x minus 4. Okay, now my bases are all the same. So I'm going to simplify on this side. It's still a base of 4. I'm going to add my powers. Okay, now my bases are the same and my exponents are going to be the same. Did you watch what I did? Okay, now you should be able, I'm going to stop at that because you should be able to handle the solving of your equation from there on out. So I'll let you finish that out just because of time. Okay, I want to do another one of these for you though because that was kind of tricky. And you'll definitely have 18 you need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do 19. And not to say that that's necessarily the only way you could do it, but I think that is the easiest way. So what I do is, and this is my thought process, when I look at each one of these, the 81, the 9, and the 27, one, I know they're not the same, okay? The bases are not the same. That's a given, okay? So I think what is the smallest thing or what is something that they can each be written as? So hopefully, usually the smallest is the easiest to work with because I know 9 is 3 squared, okay? I know 27, hopefully, is 3 cubed, and I know 81 is 3 to the 4th, okay? And so then that makes me have all of them in the same base, okay? And so then I'm just going to come over here. Well, 81 is 3 to the 4th. 9 is 3 squared, but that has a power of a negative 2b minus 2. 27 is 3 cubed. It doesn't have any power to it but a 1, so that's all I need. Now my bases are all the same. I'm going to go in and simplify by doing a distributive property here. So negative 4b minus 4, just be careful with that. Now, guys, my bases are all the same. Therefore, my bad. Let me back up a step. We want to combine. They still are, the bases are the same, but I do need to go ahead and combine here before I do that. So 4, and hopefully you see if you're adding these up, I guess I'll go ahead and write it out. 4 plus negative 4b minus 4. Okay. So now when you combine these, hopefully you see a positive 4 and a negative 4 becomes 0. Now I'll do what I was going to do. My bases are the same. My powers must be the same. Okay? And again, this one's only one step, so I'll go ahead and do it. Negative 3/4. Okay? And guys, don't forget, you can always come over and do a check. The thing is if you do a check, I would check it on the original. Okay? So in this case, 81 times 9, and then I'm going to put a negative 3/4 in here. Negative 3/4 minus 2. Okay? And that should give me 27. So if I take, let's see, those would cancel. And that's going to give me 3/2 minus 2, which is negative 1/2, which is, no, sorry, that's not a negative 1/2. I give my brain to go in here. Let's go ahead. So this would be, yeah, that's right, 4/2. So negative 1/2. And negative 1/2 would be the square root of 9, which is 3, but it's negative, so it's going to be 1/3. And is 81 divided by 3, 27. And it is. Okay? So it checks. Okay? So hopefully this gives you a good introduction to how to do your exponents. I do know for some of you guys, the 17 and 19 are going to get a little bit difficult. We'll do some more, but hopefully that makes sense to you. Again, don't ever hesitate to ask questions. If there's something in the video that you don't understand, then be sure in class we work through more of those for you. So good luck on these, and we'll see you later.